What do you think the impact of Facebook hiring freeze cuts, Microsoft, Google hiring freeze, Apple hiring freeze, and I guess Facebook, Salesforce, and then obviously Twitter, the big reorg. What are those major companies' behaviors and contractions doing to the startup market?
Well, I think they're driving down the entitlement factor. I think there were a lot of people looking for jobs in startups or roles in startups that were predicating, their expectations on Google, Facebook offers, let's say. Probably not the best fit for startups, truthfully, early stage startups, definitely. But they were using that as a way to benchmark the terms and offers that they were trying to negotiate. With Facebook firing people and Google freezing people and Salesforce, et cetera, that's not going to be a very successful negotiating strategy. If an engineer told me today, like, well, I can get paid, $300K at Facebook, I'd be like, good, go there, just see if you can get an offer even.
Yeah. I mean, if they're on a hiring freeze and they break their hiring freeze rule to hire you, more power to you.
Yeah. Good luck. I actually don't really care. I usually don't care anyway, but it's a lot easier to say, go interview there if you want to. You're going to wind up in the same place. So you might as well join the company where you're going to learn the most, challenge yourself the most, and have the highest economic upside.
Which was exactly the sales pitch of startups, let's say a decade and a half ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, when people were coming into the industry in the 90s or, early 2000s to, maybe even the great financial crisis, 2010 period, 1990 to 2010, you had a choice. Max cash would be 2 times what a startup would pay, maybe. But that delta got really huge. And then some startups started trying to compete with the Googles and Facebooks, where I think during our era, the idea that you would even try to compete was farcical. It wasn't a possibility for the YouTube founders with a $500K C check to compete against IBM jobs.
We very intentionally didn't want to. PayPal was predicated on this notion that Peter taught me or explained to me in November 2000 that you don't want to hire the people that the large companies want. One of the reasons why is you don't have the economic competition, but you really want to hire people that they won't hire and that they don't know how to hire, they don't know how to assess, and that's how you build a startup. So I've kind of always wanted to build a company on people that aren't going to get offers from Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, et cetera. But it has the economic advantage that you don't have to deal with this like stuff. But I think it's just a different personality traits, character, ambition, skill set of the people you really want to build the foundation, the first 100 to 500 people in a company. So like, for example, I have a friend who runs a company and he was considering hiring an engineer who's like, I have to think about your offer versus Facebook. And his reaction was, well, if you have to think about it, like you're not the right fit for our company. And that's more right than wrong.
If you would consider being the 7,234th developer at Facebook versus being the 3rd developer at a startup, and you're making that decision based on salary alone, you have already made the decision.
Yeah,
you
and
are
it makes
not
you
ready
more,
to be a pirate.
It's like a walking IQ test. It's like if it takes you more than 30 seconds to figure out that you don't want to be the 700th developer at Facebook, then you're totally the wrong fit for any successful startup.
Right.